Esplanade. Esplanade. Sorry, my bad. Let me do it again. Hey, how's it going? This is TwoSet Violin. My name is Eddy.
And my name is Brett.
And today, we're very excited to be with you at the Esplanade Concert Hall.
Celebrating the 20th birthday. Well, you go from left to right. There's 5 lines usually. If there's 6 lines, it's fake. Don't read it. And usually there's notes on the line or in between the lines. And there's some numbers, known as time signatures, and some symbols with sharps and flats that dictate how you should play.
Yeah, basically, you can think of the score, sheet music or manuscript as a blueprint to the music. And usually they will provide 2 very important pieces of information. One is the pitch of the note to be played. Right, so it could be like G. You need to know what note to play, but also how long to play the note. So you have like, for example, a crotchet, which is like a black dot with a line. That's like 1 beat. Or a breve, semi-breve, which is like a circle, is 4 beats. It could take a long time to explain, but in general, depending on the clef, the most common ones are treble and bass. So depending on where the note is and what color or shape the note is, it will tell you what note you should play and how long to play it.
It's like a human anatomy. There's the neck over here, and there's the back of the violin. There's also the front of the violin. We also have like the scroll. Actually, the scroll is pretty interesting. A lot of makers see the scroll as their signature, the way we write a signature. There's the chin rest, which is kind of like for the chin, but not really for the chin. It's really for the jawline. Don't ask me why they call it a chin rest. There's a shoulder rest. So some of us violinists needs a shoulder rest to put on our shoulder to make it more comfortable. It's got the thing here called the fingerboard. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, where your fingers press.
Yeah.
That's the bridge. The bridge is what supports the strings. And so when you, and of course there's the bow. And these pegs, they're for tuning. Magic. The strings, the sound is created by the bow, where you bow and you pull across the string. This causes the string to vibrate, like oscillate, like. And depending on the length of the string that oscillates and which string you play, you get a different sound. So usually as we press higher, the note gets higher because the string length gets shorter, right? Like acoustics. Now, the cool thing though is if you just bowed a string by itself, it would still make a sound but it would be very soft. But what the violin does is the tension on the bridge transmits that vibration onto the bridge and then into this violin. And this body of the violin acts as like a amplifier. It makes the sound a lot bigger. Also is how each violin gets its own unique kind of sound quality depending on the type of wood and the craftsmanship. And so together, that makes the sound.
Ooh. I mean, there's the usual détaché, which is just moving the bow back and forth. There's also the vibrato to give it an opera-like sound.
It's basically always kind of wiggling his left hand here. Yeah. Spiccato, where you bounce the bow off the string. So I think détaché, vibrato, and staccato are probably the most common techniques that you'll see.
Oh yeah, and one more. Pizzicato.
Yeah.
Haha.
The best roll.
Yeah.
Next question. I mean, okay, so usually there's the first violins and the second violins in the string section. And the first violins typically have the melody because, you know, the violin have the highest register. So usually the melody up high is easier to hear, it's more pleasant. Though sometimes the lower instruments do get the melodies. The second violins, along with the violas, usually have more of a support role.
And in terms of numbers, there's the most amount of violinists in any orchestra too.
You want most of the best instrument.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can think about this question 2 ways. There's the most difficult pieces, which is very subjective, but usually some composers known for writing very hard pieces are like Paganini or Izai. Another way to think about this question would be what are the most kind of challenging techniques that you can do on the violin. I would say for me, probably doubles harmonics and staccato, down bow, up bow staccato. Demonstration.
Demonstration. I'll try. I can't do double harmonics. Or we can both play harmonic each and we can show what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
this is a single harmonic. But a pro, the really pro, like pro, they can make 2 double harmonics like that.
yeah,
Which kind of works.
it works. But then imagine doing a lot of them really quickly and
Yeah.
it gets very hard.
Yeah. And the other one is up bow staccato. Hold on, performance anxiety. Let me try again.
Oh!
Now do the left hand pitch now. So there's another one called the left hand pizzicato where rather than just using the pizzicato in the right hand, you use the left hand with the bow. So something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
Seagull. Bird.
wait. Like a pig.
I'll try to do a donkey.
That donkey sounds sus.
It's a sus donkey.